She's dead right there. Hey everybody, it's Uncle Grumpy, and I am here with our good friend Mark Miles. Those of you who may not remember, Mark ran for Attorney General as the Democratic nominee this last election. I strongly supported Mark. I did everything I could to get you guys to get him in there, and we didn't quite make it.
Maybe it was the kiss of death. Who knows?
Oh, now, wait a second.
No,
I don't think they'd say that.
I got 400.
Careful now.
I got 421,699 votes, and I think a lot of that was directly attributable to your efforts.
Well,
in
great.
Supporting me.
I
really do
Okay.
appreciate that.
Well,
so.
we are here at the Capitol, as you guys can see. I didn't know he was going to be here today. I'm thrilled that he is. We were here for the Don't Punish Pain rally. You guys saw I posted about that last night and again this morning. Mark was nice enough to come by and speak to the crowd. Unfortunately, I was not able to hear you because of the echo and where I was located. Can you tell me a little bit about what you said while you were in there?
Well, essentially, I thanked everybody for supporting me. I thought that the people who were there were probably supportive of my efforts last year. I said that Senate Bill 1446 essentially was a mistake in that they tried to conflate all of the issues out there in the opioid world with what doctors are doing, legitimate pain management doctors are doing for their patients, and they've essentially overrun the runway. By pulling in doctors, dictating what they can do, what they can't do, and what they can do for their patients, and as a consequence, people are suffering. I understand that. I think over a period of time, they will fix that problem. But it's through the efforts of organizations like that we attended today that are going to make that happen, because it's just going to take time.
Yeah, 1446 never should have been moved through to begin with. And like I was saying to them in there when I spoke, all but one of our lawmakers voted for this, and yet they can't tell me what was in it or why they voted for it, other than that's what they were instructed to do. Now, they work for us, so those instructions need to start coming from us.
That's true. That's correct.
So, what do you think about 788 so far, now that you've seen it roll out? I know I really wanted you in that position. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing come from some of the hard-nosed Republicans here at the Capitol and from our Attorney General. Some seem to think that 788 was not voted on, or that they should get a do-over. Well, what do you see with 788 so far? Do you see any problems or anything?
Well, you know, this is a political state, obviously. 788 turned into a political effort. The people who supported 788 voted for something, and it's not clear that they got what they actually voted for. And that's a little bit of a problem. I understand the issues from the health department wanting to have a say in terms of how they essentially protect the public. I understand the position of the OBN, who clearly has a say in illegal drug activity, and I understand them wanting to have some input into it, but nothing's rolled out the way that people expected it to be rolled out, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I know the governor on the way out the door signed some emergency rules or regulations that we're just now finding out about that put some additional restrictions out there, and maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but the people ought to have a say on those things.
Yeah, I've been telling everybody out here that all these rules and regulations, although they're not coming from the lawmakers, they're all found in 34, what did I say the number? 3468. I'm getting the numbers mixed up in my head. And 1120 from last year. When I first started getting involved with that, those were the first two bills I read. And down to the language in what the OBNDD did the other day with the cameras in the facilities and the secured doors and things like that. While some of that is understandable, it is the language out of 3468. So I think if you want to know what's going to happen next in the cannabis industry in Oklahoma, look at 1120 and 3468, and what they haven't tried yet is what they're going to try next.
Well, and if you remember, originally this was started with a petition.
Yeah.
Remember that petition? And so the people voted on it, it passed, and then the AG's office rewrote all of the rules for what they wanted to submit to basically to the people for a vote. And interestingly enough, a lot of what we saw rolling out as a consequence of the first set of emergency rules in 788 were the same things that were contained in the original rewrite by the AG's office. So if you go back and look at that, those are a couple of roadmaps that obviously there's some interest out there that are kind of, not the people that want to have a say
Yeah.
And they're having their way of getting that out in front
Yeah,
of people.
you know, I did a video a while back with a whiteboard in front of me, and I put pictures on there, and I wrote names, and I explained how all this happened. I think I may have to go drag that video out again and just slap it back up and remind everybody that it's not necessarily the people we think that are making all these decisions.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mark, so what have you got going on now? Are you back in private practice, or what are you doing?
I'm back in private practice.
You're getting some bills paid then, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm
actually
trying
making a little money now.
I'm trying to get some bills
Great.
paid. A lot of my clients right now are kind of indisposed, so they haven't been doing a good job of paying me. But that's the intent. The intent is to pay those bills.
So do you plan on running again soon, or are you holding off on that decision?
Well, I
for
got
now?
a guy over here who says I'm running again.
Does he? Yeah, I noticed you had a handler. I know what that means.
Yeah,
I know what that means.
I'm getting older, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Because every time you step out of the private sector and jump into those public contests, your private life kind of takes a back seat.
Yeah.
And so that's a challenge.
Okay,
But,
well,
we'll have all of the kids out of college by then, I believe.
Good.
And just a few years ago we had 4 kids in college.
Yeah.
And now we're down to 2. So, when we stop paying all of their bills, then...
I'm getting ready to have to start doing that. I've got a son that's getting ready to go to OU.
Yeah, we may not see much of you for it.
Well, luckily he's so much smarter than I am. He's going to get a lot of grants and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
But I think there's still going to be a piece there. They're going to expect his old man to pick up.
That's
so
right. That's the way
I'm
it
just going to
works.
have to get busy doing something. I don't know what.
Yeah,
something.
get ready. Here it comes.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. Well, I want to thank you for coming back on the show. And if
Hey,
you
my
decide to
pleasure.
run again, I hope you will call me, because I can assure you will have my support 100%. And I will bring that to the people here that watch my show.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay, Mark. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Okay, folks, that's it for today. Stay grumpy. I'll see you on the road.